For you early birds who like to listen early, just in case we slip up and say something, hi. Boo. Boo-hoo.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? We rewrite the rules. The countdown has begun. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So if we were going to rewrite the rules, what would be the first rule that we rewrote? And try to say that fast, real fast.
No, I have trouble just speaking plainly. You know that.
What rule would we rewrite if we were going to rewrite the rules?
I would have a rule about no Mondays. We skip Monday. I think we should skip Monday and Tuesday. Let's just go Wednesday through Sunday every week.
Okay.
How's that?
See y'all in a couple of days. Good morning, Monday morning. It is a Monday morning. Hope y'all had a great weekend. Did you? I know you did.
I had a busy weekend, yeah. So it was a good weekend. Busy.
A bit bumpy yesterday as pockets of thunderstorms formed and moved across much of eastern North Carolina. Nobody got a lot of rain. Some got a lot more than others. The heat wave continues with a triple-digit heat index yesterday, making conditions mostly unbearable throughout the entire day. I'm Rayford Brown, glad to be here. Was hoping I'd be offshore with a good friend, Brian Slosinski, this morning. Looking for some big mackerels, both of the Spanish kind and their big cousins, the king macks. Maybe tomorrow after the show.
All right.
I'll get a chance. Weather permitting, we're looking at it. We'll be dropping some lines overboard at some point in time tomorrow. We'll talk more about that later on.
Okay. All right. Good Monday morning. It's Monday again. I don't know how we did this again. Monday again. Anyway, good morning. I'm Lee Barrows, and I hope your day is going to be wonderful.
What is it to say?
Really hot.
It's Monday all over again.
It's Monday all over again.
Second day this week.
I'm tired of the heat.
Got a little good news, at least sort of kind of for us. The early season threat of a tropical storm or worse changed yesterday when the low pressure area lingering along the northeastern part of the Gulf of America, the Gulf Coast and the panhandle of Florida, actually took on some shape and direction of travel, moving away, at least for the time being, from this area. Unfortunately, it's going to take us rain with it.
I know.
Moving northwestward this morning, tropical depression number 2 has maximum sustained winds of 35 miles per hour, most likely before the morning is over. Perhaps by the next advisory, tropical depression 2 will have achieved tropical storm status with winds of at least 39 miles per hour. It's still spinning in the Gulf of America, moving at about 3 miles per hour west-northwestward at this hour. As a tropical storm, it will be named Bertha, and it will continue moving in a westerly direction, mostly along the Gulf Coast into Texas towards the week's end. A bit of a warning, there are guidelines on how to forecast situations like this. However, the rules, like we do here, are broken all the time. No need to cover all the possibilities. The spaghetti model freaks have got that market cornered. As conditions warrant, we will keep you up to speed on any key developments, especially those that could impact this part of the world. It's only a couple of years ago, but it was a little bit later in the season when another storm kind of crossed over, started along the Gulf. They thought it was going to stay along the Gulf Coast instead, and went straight up into the mountains of North Carolina and all points in between. And then there you were.
There I was. Trapped.
No boat. On top of a mountain. No communications. Everything was dead.
Live and learn.
And 2 years later, you'd be a ham.
2 years later, I have communications.
There you go. So
that was an experience, Rayford.
With this storm is, I was going to say, it's one of those not likelies, but there's always a possibility. It's what, we can cover all those bases if we wanted to, but we'd be here until doomsday, just trying to sort out the possibilities. So the likelihood is right now it will become a tropical storm. With winds of 39 miles per hour or greater this morning. And then it will continue moving westward. Good chance it will hug the coast, the Gulf Coast, and move across near Nolens and, Nolens and into Texas.
Crawfish.
And cross into Texas and go inland from Texas. What happens then? Who knows?
Well, a lot of people asking, what about Arthur?
It could happen. Arthur's gone.
Yeah, but a lot of people aren't even aware that we had a storm already. That was on June 17th, and that became that affected the Gulf of America area going into Mexico as a Category 1 hurricane.
Yeah,
wasn't much said about it here because
it didn't
we're here, they're there, and we were like, bye bye.
Yeah. So anyway, it was a busy weekend for a lot of folks in the area, and and of course, Congressman was here.
Yes, he was.
He came out dressed, and man, he was all spiffy. He was dressed to kill.
Yeah, in his baseball jersey. Yeah. He started the day meeting with some veterans and filming commercials, and then went to go see Major Capers. And Major Capers presented him with a Medal of Honor coin. It was, he's got, I think that coin was a captain coin, and then he's presenting him with another one as a team member, and those are numbered.
Yeah.
It's really nice. And then from there, he went to the Jack Amyette Recreation Center for the Osprey game and threw out the first pitch. And that man can pitch. He can pitch.
I saw the wind up, and I'm like,
did you see the video I sent you? Yeah.
That boy he knows how to. Most politicians who get to throw out the wonderful thing, if they could get it across home plate.
Right.
Or get it to home plate.
He did good.
Forget about getting it across.
He's like, it was a little high.
If they can get it to home plate, they're doing pretty well. But
he smoked it, man.
Not this bad.
You can hear it slapping in the glove. He smoked it.
This was a zinger. That was good.
Yeah, he did good. And he wore his shirt that he wore in the congressional ball game last month in D.C.
Yeah,
he had a special shirt
the
on.
Republicans versus the Democrats. Every year they play for fun.
Yes.
Nobody hits
for charity. Yes.
Nobody tries to hit each other. So that's always a good thing. And so it gives them some camaraderie on the field away from the house.
Right.
Which is always a good thing. Get out of the house, children. Get out of the house.
He was very well received everywhere that he went Saturday. So, but it was a very, very hot day. We had a lot of our older veterans show up, and it was so hot. Yeah. But
did anybody jump into the pool?
No, but that fountain was
It
looking
looked good.
so good. That fountain was looking so
Yeah.
good. I wanted to go swimming, but I know there's cameras.
Yeah.
There's cameras.
Yeah, you should see what happens in there at nighttime sometimes.
Well,
You know,
remember?
they got naked videos.
Oh my gosh. Well, remember the time, what was it that somebody put soap suds in it one night? One
That's-
time? And then there was another time when they busted the lights.
Yeah, there's. I
Thugs.
just cannot
Thugs.
understand. You know, you can almost appreciate a good old thief because they're honest crooks. These people that are just like to
Vandalize.
vandalize and
Ugh.
create problems for other people. They just do things for no reason. They just do them because it's there.
Well, good morning, Tom. Tom came Saturday
Oh,
all
good for
dressed up
Tom.
in a suit.
Oh wow!
He had been to a solemn occasion.
Yeah,
A friend had
Yeah.
passed away.
Yeah.
And then he came out there and was all suited up and
Mhm.
looking sharp, Tom.
Oh, good
So,
for Tom.
yeah, there was a lot of people there.
But I don't get people who vandalize just for the sake of vandalizing.
That's
something.
disgusting.
You know
It's
what?
just
I know most of that is going to be misdemeanors depending upon the amount of damage done. But however,
Right.
if I was the judge, there is a maximum penalty for misdemeanors.
you need to write
If
all
you-
these things
If
down.
you don't think that I would go after the maximum penalty, if I was the judge, dude,
Right.
they say you're going to get 3 months here in jail and suspended. You got a year or whatever the maximum will be. And if I had to count the light bulbs that they break in something, and
Right.
charge them with a different misdemeanor for every light bulb there.
Sure.
See how I do things?
And I would take the
And-
most expensive replacements.
Oh, and then
You
charge
know,
for the
it's
labor.
just, don't
Don't
you?
forget the labor.
Yes.
And don't forget the assault on the people of Jacksonville.
Right.
Charge them with
I'll tell you
assault
what,
for every one of us.
the labor. Whew, why is labor so expensive
Y'all
on
want me to-
everything?
y'all want me to be a judge? Bring it on.
Well, we need to start writing down all these questions because we're going to have a judge start coming on
Mhm.
on a reoccurring visit with us, and we have questions. I want to
Well,
understand
yeah.
better. It's just like you've got some information on someone that was arrested a couple days ago for child pornography. It was, I believe.
He's got no record, no criminal history. The other guy that I was looking up, same name.
Same
different
name.
guy.
Oh shoot!
It was
Okay, I thought it
but
was the same
But
one.
it was just in a very short period of time. This other guy, I mean, one day he had
Racked him
like 8 or
up.
9 different criminal offenses.
Right.
And he repeated many of those same offenses more than one time over the years. Driving without a license, speeding to elude arrest, yada, 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 yada. Come on.
It's just,
Dude.
you know, where does the punishment start?
When you do the same crime over and over and over again and keep getting arrested for it, there's that old thing. You do the same thing over and over and over again,
Mhm.
expecting a different outcome. The first stage of insanity. If I was his lawyer, I would go to court and say, Your Honor, I'm going to plead my client not guilty by reason of insanity. Because we all know that if you do the same thing over and over and over again and expect a different outcome, you're nuts.
Imagine growing up, being a child,
No, I
and,
never was.
and having a strict mama, strict daddy.
For
You,
me,
yeah. How many times were you taken out to the woodshed and beaten with a stick or something?
the smart kids learn the first go round.
Right. That's
It's
what I'm
the
saying.
really dumb ones.
Well, the thing about it is, Rayford, if you've got somebody that's out there committing the same crime over and over and
Yeah.
over and over again, do we need to take them into the shed? And maybe a good whipping with a stick in the shed would help?
We need to send them to China
China.
and tell them to drop a piece of gun wrapper on the airport floor because you can get caned for that.
Oh, China now.
No messing around with it. More disgusting news, though, and a
Yeah.
huge. I don't give people too many warnings. I never believed in warning shots. This is this disgusting news, and we're going to put a name with it, but he's not necessarily guilty of anything because we don't know yet. But I'm going to give you a huge warning to the perverts that like kiddie porn.
I want to be the judge. Go ahead.
Y'all need to listen up now, because if you are into
Jury.
kiddie porn, you might think, well, there's some things. Oh, well, maybe you think that just because you find that kind of stuff online, on videotapes you order from the dark, perverted web, from books that you find in a legitimate, quote unquote, porn store, this is your warning shot, y'all. Even if you find that stuff while traveling to parts of the globe where the kids are not protected, anything you do to scan, copy, photograph, in any method you might use and bring it back to these United States of America makes you a felon. Got it? When you make copies of such material, the kiddie porn police are going to charge you, and they're going to do everything with every law they can dig up to put you away for the longest time you can imagine. They will prosecute you for distributing the filth, as kiddie porn can only be considered perverted filth, adding years to your sentence. If I haven't scared you yet, listen to this. Right here in Oslo County, a young adult male is chilling behind bars this morning. He's awaiting for his day in court after he was arrested on multiple child exploitation charges last week. A lot of druggies cry foul when they get caught with dope. Many of them say, hey, these are not my pants.
Not my
These
pants.
are not my pants. Literally, I've had them say that.
Mm-hmm.
There may be a few jurors out there who buy those stories. Maybe they feel sorry for them. I don't know of any jurors who will buy anything that a person arrested for kiddie porn says. You understand? Chances are 30-year-old Jonathan Parker is hoping his lawyer will play let's make a deal before a jury hears the case against him.
Mm-hmm.
He's accused of duplicating, that means making copies of, material containing young females engaged in sexual activities. The young girls ranged in age from 2 to 14. Give me that gun you've got over there. I want to take it away from you. I'm not saying Mr. Parker is guilty of anything. He has not been tried. He's only been accused. For his future, he's hoping his lawyer will be able to present a reasonable explanation for whatever the cops found. Honestly, can't say that there isn't one. I don't know. Maybe what was found belonged to a friend. Maybe it was in a package sent to the wrong address. Right now, he's behind bars under $300,000 bond on 10 different counts. Another chunk of advice for those who peruse porn. I'm not making any judgment calls here. That's up to you. There is legal porn. There's nothing legal about kiddie porn. Nothing, zero.
No.
It's one of life's many choices that we make. Keep in mind that just because you're hooked on a porn site where those who are producing the material claim that everyone depicted meets the minimum age requirement, would you trust your freedom to a porno producer?
No.
Been a lot of guys, maybe a few women, who engaged in adult activities with underage folks who swore that they were at least 18. We hear about it all. Oh, Your Honor, she told me she was 18. Why did that sound like Bill Clinton? The law does not care what they said. It cares what their ID shows. Their real ID, not the one they had made when they were in college. It's up to the responsible party, that would be the adult in the room,
Right.
to make absolutely sure that those individuals in those videos, photographs, that you copy, that you carry around in your wallet, download onto your screen, are 18 or more. That's on you. It's not on them. It's on the producers of the event, but you're not going to find those producers. Joe Doofus Blank is not going to be found. He's moved on. He's got another name. Those are your warnings, folks. That is your only warning from me.
You say, you just brought to mind, I was watching a video yesterday. 80-year-old woman was doing a video, and she was talking about her life as a dominatrix. And she said she retired when she was 60. Why you have to make videos?
She just liked to beat people up on camera.
She talked all about it. I'm like, well, why are you even making this video?
Did she get paid for it?
That's how she earned her living, she said.
How much does it pay?
I do not know.
What's involved in it?
They have no clue. What?
What's involved in it?
Well, she was talking about, all the things that dominatrix do.
What is that? What do they do?
You know what it is. It's BDSM.
Bravo, Delta, Sierra, Mike. I don't know.
And acting like a dominatrix is a great way to take control of another person's pleasures.
Oh.
Let's just say it that way. It's like 40 Shades of Grey.
40? I thought it was 50.
40 Shades of Grey. But yeah, you were talking about pornography and child porn, and all of a sudden it popped up in my head in this video I ran across yesterday, and I'm like, why are you even talking? Why are you making a video?
Did she show when she was 60, she retired?
She retired at the age of 60. She's like 80 now.
I wish I could have retired at 60.
I'm like, what? Okay, good for her. That was her thing. Good for her. That's how she paid the bills. Good for her. But
I wonder if she declared on her internal revenue.
We should make that movie of the week.
Did you say we should make a movie?
No. I said, well, no. I meant there should be a movie of the week for her.
Oh.
No, not we.
Looking further at the marine forecast for the Oslo Bay Area this morning and a bit north of Cape Lookout today for a couple of reasons. A cold front has stalled over portions of our coastal waters and will move more towards the north tonight. Another cold front will cross area waters in the second half of the week with northeasterly winds late Thursday into the weekend. All of this is making coastal and offshore waters challenging for boaters and fishermen, including those fishing in the Carteret Community College Foundation's Spanish mackerel tournament that is underway. It started on Saturday. Saturday was an okay day. Hasn't been okay since then. And I've had the invite to go fishing, so we're got to pick our weather. Hopefully we'll have some later on. Hopefully I have a little bit tomorrow, but it's going to be like, I think we're fishing in Catherine's Lake tomorrow.
There's only smallmouth bass there.
Today out to 60 nautical miles, southwesterly winds 15 to 20 knots, gusts to 25 this morning. Seas running 4 to 5 feet, a chance of showers and thunderstorms. Moving north of Cape Lookout on just the other side of Cape Lookout and hugging the coast. Southwesterly winds of 10 to 15 knots, seas only 2 to 4 feet. That might be one of the reasons we're going to try close to shore north of Lookout tomorrow. Yeah. Tuesday, southwesterly winds 15 to 20, gusts to 25 in the afternoon, seas 4 to 6, a chance of showers and thunderstorms. And on Wednesday, southwesterly winds 20 to 25, gusts to 30, seas 6 to 7 feet. 6 to 7 feet. Did I tell you that I'd be here on Wednesday?
Yes.
A chance of showers and thunderstorms.
Case of a rollover out there. Today, late afternoon showers and thunderstorms are likely. Mostly cloudy with a high near 92. Heat index values as high as 106. Southwest wind 5 to 8 miles per hour. Tonight, showers and thunderstorms are likely. Cloudy with a low around 76. Tuesday, a chance of afternoon showers and thunderstorms. Partly sunny with a high near 94. Heat index values as high as 107. And Wednesday, a chance of showers and thunderstorms. Partly sunny with a high near 93. I am so ready for fall.
Captain Brian was out Saturday for the first day, but he had a charter He's a commercial charter guy as well.
Oh, my God.
And they were further offshore, about 30 miles out.
Ooh.
And he said they were looking for some big king mackerels. And he said he does like I do when he's going from place to place. He's trolling cedar plugs, which allows him to troll at a higher speed.
Mm-hmm.
And he was zipping along, and one of them came after the plug, either grabbed it and spit it or whatever, but the fish came out of the water.
Oh, how nice.
A big king mackerel. He said, they're out there. They're out there.
How big was it?
They're 512 pounds.
How big was it? Yeah.
But
those
anyway,
fishing stores.
So there are fish out there. They did catch a couple of, not for the tournament, but to bring them home, and they brought them home for dinner.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Dolphin.
Mahi.
Dolphin.
Yeah, I've never had that. I know you have, but I've never eaten it.
Dolphin?
Never.
Really? You've never had any mahi or El Dorado?
Never had it.
Goodness gracious. That's good
I know.
stuff.
You would think being a southern girl here on the coast.
It's not a real fishy fish.
Oh, that's good, because I do not like a real fishy fish. And usually those are your freshwater.
No.
Yeah. Go.
Freshwater's mudfish. Mudfish.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the difference in taste.
Mud.
Catfish are mean. You try to take one off a hook, you have to watch them. They'll barb you. They'll get you. Oh.
Hit them in the head.
Step on their heads.
Iranian missiles launched into Jordan over the weekend claimed 2 more American servicemen, a third still sort of officially still reported missing. And there's another American reportedly who died in Iraq. The one who's missing is believed to have been trying to disarm an IED, a drone or something. Yeah. In response to all of this, the United States ramped up again its attacks on military and government targets in Tehran as Iran fights to take control of the Strait of Hormuz. Iran claims that U.S. airstrikes killed 50 and injured more than 500. We could have done better, is all I can say. With our resources, those numbers should have been in the thousands. That would get your attention. The United States has threatened to take military action against nuclear power plants, peaceful plants, if Iran continues attacks against Americans and commercial ships in the Strait of Hormuz. A power plant that is under construction but was not online was hit earlier, but no working plants have been targeted, not yet. The president has promised that's going to occur. The radioactive fallout is a concern when nuclear plants are attacked, not what we want. But if Tehran continues, there's little doubt that such acts will happen. And as unfortunate as collateral damage to civilians is not wanted, we don't want that. That will be the outcome. Any cries from Tehran at this time, any further ceasefire negotiations that anyone proposes, folks, it's too late. There comes a time when complete surrender is required. We've tried ceasefires. I don't know if a reasonable person in the whole world that is in the know who thought that would work. Take the presidential politics out of this equation for just a minute. I'm pretty sure that no one really sees but one eventual outcome. The only unknowns, who will join us, if anyone, in the first strikes? What other countries will join the left loonies in suggesting that we give them one more chance? And to me, one of the most important questions, how many more Americans will be killed sitting on their hands waiting for another outcome other than what the professionals know is going to happen? No one doubts that we will experience casualties if our actions become more aggressive. If we resort to boots on the ground, those numbers will likely increase. If we cut our losses, abandon Israel, and let the other known enemies of the U.S. gain footholds in the Mideast, starting with Iran, then we're again kicking the can down the road, putting off a problem we've done nothing about since 1979. Just because we've done nothing about it since 1979, does that mean we should just let it keep on going? Of course, you're going to hear the argument, how can we predict what will happen? We can't. We predict, but we cannot guarantee the outcome of doing nothing. We cannot guarantee the outcome of doing nothing. We can and should weigh the odds and the risk of anything we do against doing nothing. The word risk is crucial in the future of not only the United States, but a lot of other countries and the people around the world. What should we do? Do nothing? What's that going to leave us? Behind the 8 ball? That's where we are. I guess we can't be much worse off than we are, right? Yes, we can. Imagine if we had taken the decisive action in 1979. We sent a rescue mission. They had a mishap. 2 helicopters collided. People were killed. Right. I don't want to say a couple dozen. And we bailed out. We quit. We didn't try any more rescue missions of any consequence to get those hostages that Tehran was holding. If we had gone in, what would have happened? Would they have turned tail and run? Would we have ended up with a bunch of dead hostages? Would there be a combination of all of the above?
And I still think there's a lot that we don't even know about.
How about if we had slipped in, taken out the Ayatollah Khomeini? We didn't have drones. We had missiles. We didn't have drones. We did have guys with guns and long-range guns at that. And the Ayatollah Khomeini, as we remember, he did show up in public places, not necessarily where we could have easy access to him, but you know what? We were not the only people that wanted him dead. True.
It's just been an ongoing thing.
We just did not authorize.
I don't know what the solution is to it. I don't know. I'd like to know more. You know what I'm saying? There's just so much going up there in the White House and in CENTCOM and amongst our military leaders. Evidently they have a plan. Just keep bombing. We're going
to run out of bombs one day.
You would think.
And then when we really need them, what are we going to have?
I just want our people to come home. I want it to be over with, and I want our people to come home. We don't need, this loss of life over the weekend is unacceptable. It's just unacceptable to me.
The loss of any U.S. lives are unacceptable.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm just...
World War II, we lost, 350,000 Americans in 3 years, 3.5 years?
Yes.
What would have happened if we had done nothing? Is there any doubt what would have happened if we stayed out of that war any longer? Even after they bombed Pearl Harbor? What if we just said, oh, well, I'm sorry, they don't want us to go, they don't want to sign a peace deal, so we just won't enter it?
I don't know. I know all the people sitting up there in D.C. are a lot smarter than me.
So were all those people in D.C. in 1941.
But we've advanced so much, though, since 1941. Right?
Have we?
Sure we have.
You want to talk about 9/11?
No, I'm talking about as far as going over, I'm talking about our military equipment, our planes, our resources, much more advanced than what it was.
You got to act on your intel.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's probably a lot of intel.
We did not act on the intel that we had on 9/11 for 9/11.
Well, that was true to a certain sense. It was a surprise attack. Who would have thought? But we were letting so many people into the country.
Our FBI had the word. They had sources. They knew exactly what was going to go down. And a guy in Minneapolis an agent wanted to get it sent up the line. No. His bosses said no.
Do you believe that?
And yes, I do, because it's documented. And then his boss got promoted.
I don't believe anything these days.
Oh yeah, that was all documented. Legado's got that whole story too.
Right,
we've all got that one.
I would love to read a report on that. The problem is, if they released it, it'd be so redacted, you wouldn't know. Just like all these files that they released about the voting, et cetera, et cetera. There's so much of it is redacted. What do you get out of it? Oh, we're going to post it. Fine. Yeah, every other word is blacked out.
I just want to know where they get all those Sharpie pens. Maybe we should take them away so they can't redact it.
Well, you know they have that white, what is that stuff to correct errors, the white.
Whiteout?
Whiteout, yeah. Now they have blackout. Get it in a reel now. Zip, zip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Been a long time since I heard about this one.
Oh, Jory, do tell.
Legionnaire's disease.
What? Don't tell me. Are we having a pandemic?
Not yet.
Nah.
Apparently in New York, it's becoming a major problem. So far, at least 2 people have died. 75 cases have been confirmed.
What?
Legionella pneumophila bacteria was found in 76 cooling towers across the Upper East Side in New York and 1 on the Upper West Side. Buildings that tested positive, including the Solomon R. Guggenheim Museum, have been ordered to be cleaned and disinfected.
What?
The bacteria occurs naturally in water. That I didn't know either, but can multiply in building cooling systems. Legionnaire's disease is a severe form of pneumonia caused by Legionella bacteria. It can be treated with antibiotics if diagnosed early. Cooling towers, commonly found on rooftops, help regulate large building cooling systems and can release mist containing the bacteria. Health officials have emphasized that the outbreak is not linked to New York City's drinking water nor indoor air conditioning. Symptoms typically appear 2 to 14 days after exposure. Fever, cough, shortness of breath, muscle aches, and headaches are the common signs. The disease spreads through contaminated water droplets, but is not spread from person to person.
Oh, that's good. But how does the water get contaminated again?
Well, this stuff is in the water, but somehow or another, whenever it's in one of those cooling systems, I guess it's a cooling system that circulates water.
Right.
And the bacteria multiplies and gathers some steam, whatever it does.
Right.
Maybe we'll find out from Dr. Rose.
The most rapid growth is observed around 95 degrees. We've had nothing but 95 degrees around here for days and weeks. What?
We don't have a lot of heating or cooling system
Right.
in big buildings like that, like they have in the city. I'm sure we've got some in Raleigh and Charlotte. There's a couple of good reasons not to go. Hope is they don't have it in the state house, U.S. Senate, or the North Carolina Senate. Nothing of that stuff. That could be a disaster.
Well, and then people wonder why so many chemicals are used to treat drinking water.
Yeah.
It's,
Well, this is not really drinking water.
no, but
This is water that's used to circulate. Maybe they need to treat that water.
says it poses a risk for man-made water systems such as those found in buildings and public facilities. What does that mean?
It
The
circulates.
sink?
It circulates the water.
The most rapid.
Now let's go
Why
back to
you
New York.
bring this up?
Do you suppose that efforts by New York's idiot mayor to even suggest that New York cops could arrest Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in New York would be considered the dumbest crook news of all time?
I would have to agree with that. First of all, you said it right in the first sentence.
If anyone hears of ringside ticket seats to that event, whenever it goes on sales, please break in with urgent information to make sure I'm at least given a chance of watching that situation go down. I will pay for the privilege.
We're taking the bus.
Has Mandani lost whatever common sense that he may have had at some time in the past? Has he lost whatever he may have had?
He's calling him a war criminal.
Yeah. Finally, folks, we have a leader of the pack in New York who might even be dumber than the little pimple leader in North Korea, Kim Jong-un. They must have had the same daddy.
Well, wouldn't Netanyahu have diplomatic immunity?
That's just part of it. He's got the Israeli Defense Force and his training. And his experience. Man Doofus, I like is my new name for him. Man Doofus said city attorneys are exploring whether city police could actually arrest Netanyahu when he visits Manhattan for the United Nations General Assembly in September. Mandy Tootin might want to check out Netanyahu's history, Doofus, especially as a fighter with the Israeli Defense Forces in the 1970s. He survived. Others did not. Looking at things with something other than half-wit's brain, I would advise him that a good way to attract more heavily armed federal agents into New York City would be to continue making irrational comments like that one.
I think that.
Could you imagine?
If Netanyahu, he's supposed to come soon, like you said.
September.
I think him and Trump just need to stand across the street from the mayor's office and come get me. I mean, that's crazy. Instead of concentrating on
New York's got enough crime, and now he wants to try to go after Netanyahu for war crimes. Good luck, Doofus.
Where do we get these? Well, New York, where did you get
people elected him? I didn't do it.
Why?
That's on them. He must have sold them a bill of goods.
And I'm gonna tell you what. There's already people out here running for different state offices for 2028. Some of them I'm like,
maybe did any of them list Man Doofus as a reference?
No, but I'm telling you.
That big wonder of a mayor has already attracted the attention of border czar Tom Homan. He's warning that a surge of ICE agents on the way to the Big Apple, while the mayor keeps talking about how strong he considers the city's sanctuary city status is, bragging about how the city can trump the federal government's efforts to enforce federal laws. You were stupid. You passed dumb. Homan would not elaborate, of course not, nor give specific details, of course not, on what, and don't tell the president, he might give up the ghost, on what the plans are that ICE has in store. Don't say it. Just tell them they're coming.
Wouldn't you like to be in the back room, in the room during the back room conversations?
I want to be with ICE when they go. He acknowledged that there are well-funded groups that would organize to get in the way of the agency's plans to arrest illegals. Absolutely. They would come from here and there. What I'm thinking, Man Doofus, he's using you as a smokescreen. You are all stupid. They're not going to New York. They're going to San Francisco again. I'm just kidding. They're going into New York. What I'm waiting for, the day that ICE moves into any area and goes after all of the employers, including local governments, that are illegally hiring people who cannot even be in the United States. Did you hear what I said? This is going to happen one day. They're going to get enough illegals under their belt to show that they're doing their job. And then they're going to go after, hopefully, their investigative units will go after the employers. What a spectacle that's going to be. It'll be a busy time in Onslow County, too. Before that will be effective, ICE must close a loophole. Yep. Contractors who hire and pay subcontracting companies who then hire illegals to do the work is the loophole. The subcontractors don't maintain records. They don't take out FICA money, funds. They don't pay unemployment insurance, nor workers' insurance fees. The employees, yes, work for a lower wage than U.S. citizens are paid, but their take-home pay is probably pretty close to the same. The subcontracting company can bid the jobs at a lower rate, as the contractor has no idea about the actual worker's status, nor does it want to know. That's the problem. Who loses? Well, first of all, legal workers. The state of North Carolina and every other state. The federal government, every U.S. taxpayer, we're all losers. The illegals who aren't covered by insurance, if they're hurt, they're a loser. Well, not really. And of course, every hospital who has to treat illegals hurt in a workplace accident, not covered by workers' comp. How about that? The hospitals have to treat you if you come in there with an injury, but you don't have insurance and you're not going to pay. Our hospitals suffer. We suffer. Until we, and that means you, me, and the rest of us, refuse to allow this to continue, then no one's going to stop it. Politicians don't want to get involved. Maybe we could benefit with a fraud prevention hotline, like Crime Stoppers, where tipsters get money if their tips uncover fraud and arrest a mate. If we had a hotline that we could call in on whatever employer that's out here that we know is hiring illegals, even if they're using subcontractors to hire the illegals and paying the subcontractor but not paying the illegals directly, there should be a law made that covers that. Tipsters who rat out people who cheat the Internal Revenue Service can get from 15 to 30% of the money the IRS collects from the cheaters. Did you know that? If you knew somebody cheating, defrauding the federal government, the IRS, you can contact the IRS and tip them about it. And if they proceed forth and they start collecting that back money, all the stuff they get, you get a percentage of it.
What?
Yes, we can make a fortune.
How about the people that cheated the government during COVID?
Yes.
Getting all that money?
If they cheated the IRS. Why not
do you have their number?
Why not the same sort of reward system for those who turn in employers who hire illegals via subcontractors or otherwise?
Rayford, that's exactly what I was saying last week or the week before. Why not find these employers? Find them.
You got to make it illegal first.
Well,
they can hire the subcontractors and they're not paying illegal.
True.
The subcontractor is.
But we know, you know, I know, we know, we all know.
I know who killed a lot of people in the past, but I couldn't prove it.
There
so what good did that do me?
Farmers that have hired illegals to work on their farm.
There are a lot of farmers who hire workers, they're called migrant workers, who apply for migrant worker status.
Choice of words, right?
No, they apply for migrant worker status. They've got them over in Duplin County, a lot of them during particular seasons, or whatever goes on.
I know somebody that had somebody that working for them and living on their property that had no papers to be in America.
Yep.
They hid them for years.
What we also need to do is to go after these. You think I'm going to be targeting rich people? I'm not. I'm going to target some politicians who are rich, who they have found, who have hired illegal domestic help. They've got them on their payroll even. They hire them, they pay them. They got caught, but they did nothing with them. They said, this person's worked for me for years, they're a great person, but that does not matter. Charlie Manson probably had some good traits. Adolf Hitler had some good traits. But they're not good people. They are illegals.
Well, this is just I'm bringing up, this was in April of 2026. Here, new ICE data shows more than 6,300 arrests in North Carolina. nearly double in the prior 2 years. And this was arrest for being in our state illegally.
In other words, ICE finally came in to do the job.
Yes. Speaking of that,
because they were restricted from doing it before.
Uptown Charlotte had a protest this weekend against ICE.
I hope it got hot.
It should have been hot.
Well, they were just sorry. They thought that protest was to get them some ice because it was so hot. And that's what they were hoping to do.
It says arrest data collected through March 10th of 2026 shows U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement recorded 6,374 total arrests across the state, with arrests peaking in November with 776 recorded arrests. And that was at the same time that Trump administration launched the Charlotte's Web, a U.S. Customs and Border Protection-led operation targeting criminal illegal aliens in the Charlotte area.
Good, that's fine. But folks, don't wait to call in until the last minute. Give us a call. You want to chat? Now's your time. If I move on to another topic, we're going to be done. 910-333-0139. Want to chat about this? Let's do it now. I've given you enough ammo this morning, enough topics, enough stuff to deal with. Please let her rip. 910-333-0139. It's been a week and a couple of days since Lindsey Graham passed away suddenly. Yes. Without notice.
Isn't his services this coming weekend?
What have we heard other than his daughter? No, his sister was appointed to be was nominated or was appointed.
She was appointed to fill the vacancy.
She can be appointed. Doesn't have to be just nominated, right?
Right. She's just the governor
doesn't
appointed
have to be
her.
Approved by anybody else.
No, and she's already been sworn in.
Okay, so she's
go girl.
She's there.
Go girl.
Now, we haven't heard much else about anything. We know what the medical stuff. There's really not probably a lot else to know. I'm just wondering where are the political folks out there? If they just given time to cool off, or
Tom is calling.
Oh, Tom is calling.
You like Tom.
All right, folks. We can be timed up with Tom for the next 45 minutes or an hour, maybe hour and a half. Hey,
Good morning, Tom.
No, I just calling in for a couple of things real quick. You were talking about, he was talking about catfishing, and I sent her a video showing how what's her name? Hannah Barron.
Oh, yeah.
Does noodling.
No. You know what's at the bottom of that water other than catfish? Oh, lots of stuff.
I'm thinking of snapping turtles and stuff.
Yeah.
But I want to see Lee getting out there trying to do some noodling.
Nope.
And
I will pay for that privilege too.
Nope.
But what else we covered? Oh yeah, Senator Graham's sister. When I first heard about it, I thought, okay, this is just a feel-good thing. It's probably just a sister.
It happens a lot.
I checked up on her. I checked. This woman's got credentials.
Yep.
Yes, she does.
Not so much in politics, but we're working with charities. She's a teacher. And she has worked with her brother, so she's got some credentials behind her.
She does.
And as for Iran, I've said from the start, it shouldn't have been about going after the nukes. It should have been complete regime change from the start.
Yep.
Should have gotten rid of that snake, all of it, right from the start. And that way the nukes and all the other problems would have worked out with the new people coming in. Because they would have said, okay, we don't want to get bombed by the U.S.
Yeah.
We're going to act like human beings instead of like third century barbarian monsters.
It's going to take some education on their part, on our part or somebody's part to get these people up to speed, because this is the way they've always done it. And they've in other countries just say, we're just not going to get involved in that. That is their internal problem. No, their internal problem. It became an external problem in 1979 for us. And I'm still mad.
Yeah, that's what I even had a list made up because of people saying, "Well, they haven't done anything to us."
Yeah, well,
and it started 79 with a takeover, but even before nor the bombing of Beirut, which was done under orders from Iran by their little lackey groups.
Yeah.
They'd already hit the United States twice, just in Lebanon, and they bombed the French, which really ticked off the Foreign Legion. But they continued. People forget about all these things they've done, or they say it was done by these people, not by Iran. Iran is issuing them orders. Iran is supplying the money. These people are psychotic, brain damaged demon worshippers, and they I don't know where they come from, other than they're just pure evil, and people don't do it. So I just made up a list, sat down, and took about 30 minutes, made up a list of all the things that they've done to the United States military directly, not even the damage they've done when they were hitting somebody else.
Yeah.
And it's like a 4 or 5 paragraph thing that I wrote up. People come online and say nice things. I just copy and paste, put that out there and say, justify this.
When we declared war on something like terrorism, we didn't declare war on a country. We declared war on terrorism, and we went after terrorists. Where was do you remember the pictures that we used to see years ago, back in the 90s and probably in the early 2000s as well, about suddenly the ground opened up and terrorist thugs jumped out, and part of their training operations, they were training. Guess where they were? They were in Iran. Iran is a sponsor, has been a sponsor for decades of terrorism. They provide training grounds, locations. They're a bunch of thugs that need to die. Not all of the Iranians. I'm talking about those in the power there.
Oh yeah, it's the stakes at the top that need to go away.
Yes.
We tried to supply, from what I understand, the regular Iranian people with some arms so that they could do something, but they sent it through the Kurds, and what they forgot was the Kurds need those arms to protect themselves against the Turks, the Iraqis, and other people that have been trying to wipe them out for 100 years. And so they, instead of passing them on to the people in Iran, they said, no, we're going to keep these because you have not lived up to your word to protect us from all these other people. Because we said we were going to do that, and we haven't.
I can't think of, there may be some, but my brain is mostly dead these days. I cannot recall any real situations where us handing another bunch of thugs weapons has ever turned out for us. I can go back to Osama bin Laden when he wanted to kick the Russians out of Afghanistan. So we built an empire for him.
Well,
and look what they got us.
Obama was a minor player. He wasn't even. He was a player, but he was a minor player in that whole thing. There was the others that got the weapons, and because Obama wasn't even Taliban.
Nope.
So it just went sideways on that when they went over and took offense instead of us going in and giving them direct assistance in rebuilding after the Russians left.
Yeah, but by that time, Osama, he was out there up and running and trying to gain a lot of attention. A tall man, a thug, rich man, just a thug.
Educated, he was
educated. We paid for that, I'm sure. Well, his family did, but he was a bullet away. He should have been a bullet. How many times did you ever see him during those years before we finally got to him? How many times did you see him in the public eye, within range? I'm talking about, like a half mile or even a mile away.
Before or after 9/11?
After 9/11, he was out there. He was out there.
Barack knew where he was. I think it was like 6 times that he could have taken, maybe 4, that he could have taken him out, and didn't. and nobody's ever offered a reasonable cause for him not taking him out.
Well, what I look at is somewhere out there was always a guy with a camera getting video of him. If I can get video of him, there are people out there that can hit him. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have. But again, who do you trust? Who do you trust in a situation like that? No, nobody.
We could hit people. We could hit people with small rockets and stuff from places that we can't even see them.
Yeah.
I mean, we got people with rifles taking them out at almost 2 clicks.
Yes.
So,
seeing some of those videos, I mean, that was the classic, and the two guys in the hole, and I think it was a Brit that did it with a 338 or something. But anyway, they were standing there. You could see them on infrared, the video, and they were just standing there, plain view, perhaps, but it was nighttime. And then one of them just suddenly falls over, and the other one, I mean, he hadn't even heard the shot. And then he looks around, what's going on? Click, bang, you're done too.
yeah.
2 people up and dead before the sound ever got there.
Yeah.
From one guy with a rifle, a bolt action rifle at that.
Yeah. But people forget bolt action rifles are outstanding for hunting and stuff. If you're a good shot doing long range.
It don't take a woman.
For the good shots, that's it. Yeah.
An 03A3 was one of the finest rifles ever made, in my personal opinion.
Oh, well, for its time, the Lee Enfield,
Yes.
with the British 303, yeah,
Yep.
it was great rifle. I mean, it was
They're-
copied and
Yep.
used for 70 years.
Yeah.
So
Well, the 03 was still issued in World War II, and then it was reissued as and did a little modification, reissued it even in the beginning stages of Vietnam for snipers.
oh yeah, I mean the round was out. The round was used in the 1903 in Springfield.
Yes, it was.
And carried up through the M1 Garand. They changed it for the M14, but
Yeah.
to the NATO type stuff. But yeah, the M1 was used as a sniper rifle up through Vietnam.
It was. It doesn't take but one.
Yeah.
Did you ever see those stats on Vietnam about these are estimates, of course, about how many small arms rounds it took to kill one Viet Cong or one enemy, one of our enemies?
No, that's when they would do the pray and spray.
Spray and pray, that's right. We got the
Yeah.
M16s fully auto, and that's what happened. Somewhere between 40 and 60,000 rounds were spent per confirmed enemy kill. How many rounds per sniper was required? What were the kill ratio there?
It's usually about 1 per.
1.3 rounds per confirmed enemy kill. Don't know how many crawled off in the bushes and died.
Oh yeah, if you shoot more than one, you've given up your space.
Yes, it.
You told them where you are.
Then you need to move.
Yep.
All right. Tom, it's always a pleasure, sir. So what's our answer? How do we fix the problem that we've inherited or that we have allowed to continue? We didn't inherit it. We allowed it. We didn't stop it.
Which problem? You mean Iran?
Iran. That's the one. That's the number one problem we've got facing us today as far as the foreign military problems, the threats to our very existence, not including the Chinese monetary issues.
Iran, I would probably, the old CIA would have had this taken care of. The CIA from the 1960s would have had this done. But right now, we've got enough people with Iran history that were born in the United States, or even those that got over here when they were kids and have gone through U.S. military. We could have them make connections with family and friends back in their homeland and arrange for airdrops to go in and weapons. Go in with the night drops. They got the capabilities.
Yeah.
They can use helicopters or out in the middle of the desert, drop with a low C-130.
Yeah.
And maybe have some of the people that want to go in, they're in the States, that want to go in and help, if they've got the military backgrounds, let them drop it. Have them work with the people. Have them show these, because what do we got? Probably 500,000 surplus M16s.
Oh, nice.
The A1s. We don't need them. We're not going to do anything with them.
No.
Drop them in.
No.
And then arrange for the takeout of the leadership.
But these people have never been trained with these types of weapons, kind of like the Ukrainian people have never been trained, and look what they're doing with military weapons.
Yeah, but
they're kicking Putin's butt.
Yeah, and and an M16 is not that hard to figure out how to clean.
Nope.
It's not hard to teach them how to shoot.
Nope.
You're not looking for expert snipers. You're looking for people that are going to be doing close-in type of work to help clear out their cities and push back on the Iranian Guard.
100 yards or less, and you're good to go.
Yep, and they've shown they've got the courage. They went to the streets with nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So give them something.
All right, Tom, I'm voting for you for president, commander-in-chief. You ready?
Let me go in there for 6 months and we'll get some stuff cleaned up, and then I'm resigning and going fishing.
That'd be fine. That's all the right guy can make it happen in 6 months.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, y'all take care.
Thank you.
Yes, you too.
Take care. Yeah, just go in and get her done and then move on and do something else with you.
Well, that's what we've been saying over and over.
We do need, we really do
Get
need
it done.
it. But the problem is, the man who should be able to do that is the commander-in-chief, but he cannot, won't ever, because of the Trump derangement syndrome, will never be able to amass enough people to support whatever he does. The minute he tries something like that, the first thing that's going to occur, impeach. I wish they'd send somebody a box of peaches every time they say that. Rotten ones.
Peaches, that sounds good.
If they scream impeach. Impeach is like, I'm a peach, right?
Mm-hmm.
We'll just send them a box of rotten peaches.
That's not nice. Ugh.
Yes, it is. It's just perfect.
Yeah, this heat, you make me think of peaches and going to the veggie stand and the fruit stand. It's just not been the same this year.
No.
Because it's been so hot
Yeah.
and the heat is, but that rain that I got yesterday at my house, let me tell you what, when I walked outside after the rain, it looked like things grew 2 feet and veggies started popping out. I mean,
Oh, wow.
I'm like, maybe it's what I need to do is just
Well, that
water heavier.
that stuff that came up voluntarily out here in one of the beds.
Yes.
It's not cucumbers.
It's not.
It's cantaloupes.
What?
I got one that's about that big. It just suddenly appeared.
Well, the cantaloupe my sister-in-law gave me, I saved the seeds and I've been working with those. I'm
good.
gonna try.
Good.
She got watermelons too.
Wow.
I'm like, Lord.
She's the farmer, huh?
She said she just took a chance and threw the seeds down.
You were talking about your rain. You had almost 2/3 of an inch of rain.
Yes,
That's a good
yes,
amount.
it was good yesterday.
Yeah, I'm checking with the ham radio friends this morning, and Lee checked in first as usual. 76 degrees over there in the Woodlands, North Carolina, not the Woodlands, Texas. 95% humidity, 29.92 inches of mercury, and steady east southeasterly breeze. Not much to it. And like I say, 64 hundredths of an inch of rain. Richard. Our buddy, Richard. Over there in Jones County near Maysville, 77 degrees. Why are these guys so cool early in the morning? Then it gets hot. 96% humidity, 29.94 inches of mercury. He could see 9.3 miles this morning. He didn't have the haze we've got here, is all I can say. Southwesterly wind, we'll call it, 4 to 7 miles an hour. A quarter inch of rain in the rain gauge, 24 hundredths. Joe's out vacationing up in the hills or somewhere.
The hills.
In the hills, where it's cool. He's probably got a blanket this morning in a parka or something. So Joe from the borough will be back later in the week. Ward and Cedar Point had 81 degrees, 84% humidity, 29.99 inches of mercury. Southwesterly winds at 3 to 5. And Cannon over in Onslow Bay, he had 80.4 degrees, 84% humidity, calm, no wind, and he had some traces of water falling from the sky. Dale and River Bend this morning, he reported in at 77 degrees, 98% humidity, 29.92 inches of mercury. It's calm, and he also had a goodly amount of rain, 0.61 inches of water in his rain gauge. Randy in Southwest, 77 degrees, 93% humidity, 29.92 inches of mercury. A light wind out of the west at 2.2 miles per hour, 0.34 inches of rain. And Brian checked in from the borough, 78.8 degrees, 84% humidity, 29.59 inches of mercury, and 0.02 1/100ths of an inch of rain. Here in the studio, it's currently 82. It was in the upper 70s early this morning, 94% humidity now, and 29.90 inches of mercury in the barometric pressure. And that's steady. We've had no rain, according to this. But this is lied.
Yours is broke.
I know it's broken.
Yours is
It's
broke.
clogged up or something because, and it's an expensive. device, too.
Where's it at
It's
outside?
about 8 or 9 feet up on a pole out there, in the open, in the clear. So it's probably got some leaves or something down in it that won't
You
dump.
could have a snake nesting in it. You seem to
Well-
have a lot of those lately.
Got 2 less.
You got me so paranoid every time I go out in the
I
yard.
am.
Something touches my leg, I
have
scream.
my evasive dealing with copperheads. I don't like copperheads.
No, I don't like any snake at all. I don't care what it is. It's a snake.
All right, bring it up to speed here. Tropical depression number 2 is going to become tropical storm Bertha here in some period of time today, in all likelihood. The depression continues to have a fairly unimpressive appearance when they look at it on the satellite. A few fragments of deep convection, they say, around the circulation center. An Air Force Reserve reconnaissance aircraft has been sampling the system this morning, finding that the pressure continues to gradually decrease with a peak 925 millibars at flight level, winds of 38 knots. That in itself would be tropical storm, but they're not doing that yet until it becomes more steadier on another sampling. The data is the primary justification for increasing the wind slightly to 30 knots for the advisory this morning, which is 35 mile per hour winds. So a lot of that is nip and tuck. You know, they do a little Kentucky
Right.
winds. They take
Right.
say, well, if it's there at this altitude, if it's 38 knots out there where we're measuring, it's going to be at 30 knots, which is 35 miles. They do that. So I mean, they're the smart ones, not me. Within the next 12 hours, they anticipate this to become a tropical storm with 35 knot winds of 40 mile per hour. That's the equivalent. Sometime today over the next 12 hours. It probably will not get any bigger than any stronger than having 50 mile per hour winds. Okay. That's what they're saying over the next 2.5 days or so. We'll have to wait and see. By that time, it should be out there towards hitting the land of Texas. And once it makes landfall there, if it does, then it should start to peter out a little bit.
Well,
Of course, it can do other things, as we know.
you know, what's our next month? August we're heading into?
Yeah, I
Soon
am.
in August,
birthday gift.
September.
I gotta get a birthday gift. What do I gotta get?
Oh, I have got a
Okay,
suggestion.
good. Don't say it out loud.
No, I'm not going to, but
Write it
something.
down because I'll forget it.
Okay, I have a good suggestion for you.
Okay.
You may have, well, we'll talk about it later. Yes. Anyway, okay. Well, we want to go ahead and do weather
We're
then?
going to do the weather.
Okay.
So there it is. I knew I'd
Cue
find
it
this
up.
sooner or later.
Cue it up.
Marine forecast for the Onslow Bay area. And this includes the area just north of Oslo Bay, which is from Cape Lookout looking northward. A cold front is stalled right now over much of our coastal waters. It will start moving northward tonight. You go to the areas north of Cape Lookout. Another cold front will cross our waters in the last half of this week with northeasterly winds late Thursday into the weekend. This is making coastal and offshore waters sort of challenging for those of us who want to go fishing.
Rough.
Yeah, that's the word.
Rough.
There is the Carteret Community College Foundation Spanish Mackerel Tournament is in progress. It's an 8-day tournament. Used to be a 1-day tournament. Now it's 8 days. So you get to fish any or all of those 8 days that you want.
That's good.
I tried to fish all of them one year.
Yes.
That's rough work.
I think last year you went a couple days, didn't you?
Not last year. I haven't been in several years.
Oh, okay. I remember one
So
year.
today, all the way out there to 60 nautical miles, where some of the big king mackerel are playing. Southwesterly winds 15 to 20 knots, gust up to 25 this morning. Seas 4 to 5 feet. That's going to be pretty choppy. A chance of showers and thunderstorms tomorrow. Oh, later today, if you go north of Cape Lookout and you hug our coast up there, those winds are going to be from the southwest, only 10 to 15 knots, and the seas kind of calm, 2 to 4 feet. Not bad. Tuesday, tomorrow, southwesterly winds 15 to 20 knots, gust to 25 in the afternoon, seas 4 to 6, a chance of showers and thunderstorms. Wednesday, southwesterly winds 20 to 25 knots, gust to 30, seas 6 to 7 feet on Wednesday afternoon, a chance of showers and thunderstorms.
Well, you better take some tie downs. Mercy. Today, late afternoon showers and thunderstorms are likely.
Kangaroo down or what?
Mostly cloudy with a high near 92.
Chicken and watermelon.
Tonight, showers and thunderstorms are likely. Cloudy with a low around 76. Tuesday, a chance of afternoon showers and thunderstorms. Partly sunny with a high near 94. Wednesday, a chance of showers and thunderstorms. Partly sunny with a high near 93.
Speaking of hot, I got some warnings for you. Got nothing to do with the weather.
Okay.
You ever, in a hurry, make some coffee, and then as it turns chilly, you stick it in the microwave to heat it up? You ever heat up your coffee or water?
I used to.
Do you ever boil water in the microwave?
Yes, I've done that before.
Don't do that anymore.
Why?
I'm going to explain it to you.
Oh, do tell.
You
I mean,
might
it's
want to listen up.
very few and far in between, but tell.
If you boil water or reheat liquid beverages, including coffee, in your microwave oven, I bet you weren't aware that it can be dangerous.
How so?
Boiling water in a microwave can make the water superheated. That is, cause the water, which boils, generally speaking, at 212 degrees Fahrenheit, it actually heats up higher than 212 degrees in the microwave. And it's just sitting there and not boiling. It's hotter than 212 degrees. And when you take it out, and let's just say when it meets the air and you've got coffee in it, it can suddenly rupture, spilling hot water over you, hot coffee over you. If you've got just hot water in there, you don't know that it's boiled because it never bubbles in the microwave.
Right.
And then you take it out and you put a spoon in it, or you put some coffee in it, or you put hot chocolate in it. I've been known to do that in the past. Don't do it anymore. And this water is superheated. It's above 212 degrees.
It's hot.
It can result in an explosive burst of steam that can, if you put your face over it, you know what's going to happen. That can cause burns or other injuries. Water boils when heat causes its molecules to move faster and faster. Beyond its natural boiling point of 212 degrees at sea level at a normal barometric pressure, it becomes steam if it's heated up accordingly. When you boil water on the stovetop, bubbles form at the bottom. You watch that, right? At the bottom of the pot, and the bubbles rise upward. This ensures that the water boils safely, because that energy that is trapped when you put it in the microwave just boils them up. In the microwave, electromagnetic waves cause the water molecules to bounce around in a perfect pattern so that bubbles don't have a place to form. This is worse when you use a smooth container like a coffee cup, especially a brand new coffee cup with no worn edges or divots in it.
I can tell you a story, but go ahead.
It also lacks places for bubbles to form. If water is heated beyond 212 degrees with no bubbles, it can superheat, especially if previously heated water has been cooled and then reheated. When you grab your mug from the microwave, this movement can cause the explosion of superheated water. Worse, when you immediately put something into the hot water, like instant coffee, hot chocolate powder, or a spoon. This can cause the water to suddenly, vigorously boil with superheated water spilling up and outside the cup. That's your safety tip. Now, what do you want to do if you don't have a way to boil it on the stove?
Drink it cold.
That would be one choice.
Drink it. Throw some ice cubes in there.
If you want to boil it, you can put something like a wooden stick in it or something like that. And that have imperfect areas, and that will actually cause the water to bubble and boil.
Who knew there was so much going on in a container of water being heated? Molecules laughing at each other.
Molecules
trying to climb out of the bowl.
Shoot out of the
it's
bowl.
crazy.
Anyway,
I've never.
I was wondering what the heck all that was going on.
I've never actually boiled water in a microwave. Now I have.
You don't see it boil.
Well,
generally speaking.
I mean, I usually leave it in there like a minute or just long enough. What I've done before is, I've got the tea bags, and sometimes I put them in some water and put them in there.
Oh, you put them in there with before you cook it.
Yeah. So the word is, good Lord, we're talking about water blowing up, and then that light from the phone just blinked.
Exploding water.
Steve just scared me. Thought something was blowing up.
Beware of exploding water in your microwave, and don't put any eggs in there to boil either, Steve.
No, definitely don't.
I knew somebody who did that. Hey, Steve.
Good morning, guys. How y'all doing today?
Good morning.
We're fine. We got all sorts of warnings for pornographic freaks who like kids to people who boil water in the microwave. It'd be better to just boil a pervert in the microwave. I didn't say that.
I was just saying, I don't know if I've ever actually boiled water per se. I've heated up beverages and, heated up beans that were in water and stuff like that.
Beans.
I think a lot of people miss some things, and one of the things I find that people miss a lot is that most microwaves have a power setting. Where you don't have to cook on full power that most people do.
Yes, of course. You're right. I want it done faster.
You're right.
Don't you want to get it done fast?
Right. You know how you heat up a liquid in the microwave, it cools down just as quick when you take it out?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If you heat it up slowly, it cools down slowly.
Oh.
Even in the microwave.
Now, the problem is if you manage to start putting that the water in the microwave, I think this is a warning that they're trying to get across. If you put it in there, you don't really know when it's boiling. You don't know when it's going to be 212 degrees. And then when you take it out and shake it or whatever, if it has gone beyond 212 degrees and you have no indications of that, that's when the problem begins.
Yeah. I tell you, there's a new invention out there that I think every kitchen should have. I love one. I've got it.
Thermometer.
Air fryer.
And I was going to say, and they only cost about $20, and it's one of them little laser thermometers. You can point it at whatever you want to point at.
A laser
Just
thermometer?
point it at the surface of that water. If it says 319 degrees,
and it'll tell you what the temperature is.
That's cool. It's a nice gadget. I would probably never use it. I mean, why?
You've got one for your forehead, don't you?
No.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
I have the regular put in your mouth thermometer.
Look.
Look.
The worst thing about those things was the alcohol. They used to soak them in.
I can remember. No, we're not going to go in talking about thermometers because we're going to come up with stories.
I got my laser thermometer for the grill originally, so I could tell how hot the hot side was versus the cold side.
Yep.
See,
but I found out it worked
men get into all that stuff. We women just go out there, start to grill up and throw the burgers down. We don't go through all
Well,
that stuff.
I've got the thermometers with the probes where you can do it that way, and they work really well.
Brisket.
Yep.
It makes cooking a lot easier.
Brisket.
And, takes all the guesswork out of it. But
Yeah.
the laser one that you just point at it and pull the trigger, that thing's pretty neat. I want to tell you all a funny thing
Another
about my
toy.
microwave story. At least it was funny to me. I hope it is to you as well. Me and my grandson are cooking a bag of popcorn in the microwave like so many people do.
Yeah.
And it gets done, it dings, and I pull the bag out, and I'm explaining to him how to open the bag, and I get burnt by the steam.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? How you got to hold it away from you, and you got to, hold the corners of it and pull it real easy and keep your hands out the way so you don't get burnt.
Burnt and wet eyebrow.
And,
Yes.
and he has this puzzled look on his face, and he looks at me and he goes, "Pop, why don't you just wait a minute or two till it cools off before you open the bag?"
Exactly.
I
Smart
said,
kid.
"Well, buddy," I said, "evidently, my love of popcorn has never allowed that thought to cross my mind in 40 years."
No. What you need to go back and get him again, and you can still reach him. He'll still talk to you, won't he?
Yeah.
Sit down and say, "Listen, I kind of lied to you a little bit. The reason we do it is because we are men. We have no patience."
Yeah.
I have to tell you though, the hot popcorn when it first comes out, it's so good.
Especially with butter on.
And I know that if you just set the bag down and let it cool off a minute, you'll be fine. But I'm like Steve, I've got to have
I
that.
want it now.
I can smell it. I got to have it.
There you go. And what smells better
agree.
than popcorn, either cooking, I've got a cooker now for it, or in the microwave? What smells better than popcorn cooking?
I know.
Yeah.
Papa.
But
Even the
that was
dogs
the
are
funniest thing. When he looked at me just as puzzled as he could be, he's like,
smart, baby. It's too easy.
He's going to be one of those, isn't he?
He's a pretty smart little young man.
Yeah.
I give him credit. Yeah.
How old is he?
He's a higher intelligence than I was at that age.
Well, why don't you tell him to go ahead and move out and get a job while he's still smart?
Right, don't take his childhood away from him.
I tell him all the time. I said, just remember, buddy. I said, just because you're smart, don't mean you're gonna make smart decisions.
Yeah, that happens.
But always think about everything you do.
Yeah.
But,
All right. What's going on in your world other than that?
I'm out here in the park, walking around with the dog. Just another beautiful day in paradise.
Uh-huh.
Loving where I live, and a little overcast today, so the sun ain't beating down. It's kind of nice out here.
It's 82 degrees and no sun here and 94% humidity.
There's a little breeze, and with the clouds over, the humidity's a little, I guess, less. Feels a little less at least.
Oh, wow. It's up to 3 miles an hour now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Out of the east
It's a light breeze.
east
A little
southwest,
rustle out there.
west southwest.
Compared to what it was yesterday, it was blowing yesterday.
It was.
I didn't get no rain, really. It rained one time for like 5 seconds, just enough that you could hear it rain, and then it stopped.
And that was just a reminder for you to go water the garden, right?
Yeah, more or
Good
less.
rain
More or less,
yesterday.
I had to water everything yesterday. It didn't do nothing for that. Yeah.
I had good rain.
How's
Good
your
rain.
garden doing?
Well, I got a surprise.
Hey.
For the plants that came up voluntarily that I kind of, there's so many different varieties and leaves that look sort of like cucumbers and different kinds of cucumbers
Zucchini.
and everything else.
Mhm.
These things came up. They came on fast when they came up. And I kept looking for the little tiny cucumbers that I thought for sure that's what it is. I just knew that's what it was. No, it's cantaloupes, because I got one about 8 inches in diameter now that suddenly appeared. I don't know where it's been hiding.
Yum, yum.
Yeah, they have a way of just popping out like that. I've had that with my cantaloupes too. I've had 3 this year, and the birds have gotten all 3 of them.
Oh,
And
Get you an
I've
owl.
got some now. I got some Charleston Gray watermelons that are growing right beside where the cantaloupes have been getting eat up at.
yeah.
And I took a milk crate and turned it upside down over top of the melons to try and keep the birds away from it. And it's working so far. We'll see if it stays, if they make it all the way or whatever. But yeah.
Our forefathers used to do things a little bit differently than we do. And sometimes people thought they were cruel in the way they did things, right? You remember those, right?
The whipping shed.
Yeah, well, the whipping shed was one, but no, the woodshed was one.
Right.
But that wasn't cruel. That was attention getting.
Right.
But my granddaddy used to, he was a farmer and he planted fields. And every time he planted, put out the seeds, he sowed everything that he did. And he'd look out there, and he lived about 2 miles from Riceville Beach. And out there in that sandy soil where he planted the seeds, the seagulls used to love to flock in, and they would eat the seeds. He got tired of it. 12 gauge, number 7.5s from the the back porch. And he'd open fire on a flock of them. And occasionally he would kill them, but most of the time he'd either scare them. But what he liked to do was to run down the one that was squawking and alive but couldn't fly. Then he took a tobacco stick, put it in the ground out there, tied his seagull to it, and let that seagull bounce around and scream and holler. They must put out some kind of warnings because no more seagulls came around.
What? This is a made-up story,
No,
isn't
it's
it?
not a made-up story. If it is, my grandmama made it up, and she didn't do that.
Okay.
Her stories were stranger than fiction.
As my mother got towards the end of her time, she started coming up with stories, and I think she started telling us about a pet chicken she had when she was a child, and we're just all kind of like, oh, okay.
My sister had a pet pig.
Well,
Hey guys, on a different note, Lee, I wanted to ask you, did you get a chance to look at any of those documents?
no, I had pretty busy weekend,
yes, you had
Steve,
busy
and I
weekend.
started to at one time, and I've just not given it the time to really delve into it. What have you found?
I looked into it. I just kind of dipped my toes in the water, but to say that they're heavily redacted is an understatement.
That's what I was saying
How
earlier.
you gonna put out a whole page that the whole thing is redacted? Why do you even put that page out?
Why does it
Because
have
if
to
you
be
didn't put it out there,
redacted?
they would say you're withholding something.
Why does it have to be
Well, they could just say
redacted?
they could just say page redacted. They don't have to show us the whole page with everything blacked out on the entire page, and except the page number.
There.
I had the page number. I know. That's what I'm saying is, how can you find any merit into any of the allegations when you can't? And then we're gonna put it out on the website for you to read and see. See what?
If they've got some under 18-year-old people who are victims of crime, and some who are the perpetrators of crime, I'll grant you some of those should be redacted. But if you've got those kinds of people, the victims of various crimes and whatever, I can see redacting their names. Beyond that, that's about it for me. Maybe you can come up with something. I'll back up. Top secret, state's secrets, national defense, but don't get so widespread that we don't want to tell them how many muskets we've got in inventory because we're afraid that somebody's going to pick up on how many muskets from left over from the Civil War we still have in inventory. I don't want that kind of redaction.
Well, and I tell you, the big picture is what gets me is that they made these claims about the election stolen and yada yada whatever. And they say, here's our evidence, but we can't really point to it. We need you to go in this haystack and find that needle and show us the evidence.
Trust me.
Well, it ain't even trust me. I mean, they can't even point to what they consider their evidence. They just give us a haystack and tell us that needle's in there somewhere.
Trust me. It's there. All you've got to do is find it.
Right.
Trust me.
But I mean, how do they know it's there if they haven't found it? That's the the upside of that coin is that obviously they based their accusation on nothing because they have nothing to show.
A friend of mine in Jacksonville.
Don't know. Everything's redacted.
A friend of mine who lives here, he's a lawyer. He named his boat, seriously, Trust Me. I'm not kidding.
Is that the one that sunk about?
No, he's got
Just
an office
kidding.
on Newbridge Street.
Just kidding.
You know it too.
But now there's people who have gone all through it, of course. even the conservative side is like, there's nothing there. There's nothing to see.
I told you that from the beginning. If there had been anything there, it would have been found before now. Okay?
Right.
Do you not understand that this man has got more money than God's got? He's got enough money to hire enough people to find anything that could be found legitimately or illegitimately.
Right.
He didn't find it, did he?
Then the elephant in the room is why? Why are we doing all this? This ain't just some random eccentric rich person as president of the United States. Why are we doing this?
I think the longest word in the dictionary is if, and the second longest is why. And the only response to the question why, because there's no other way to answer a question like why.
It's like we're going to release the Epstein files for everybody to see.
Have you brought that?
Read 2 or 3 words on each page.
Epstein is dead still.
Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah, but the people he served are not,
Right.
and they just found a different supplier.
Right.
They're still out there.
Sure.
Doing dirty deeds.
Yeah, no doubt.
So they're not. That's the problem.
Did you read where they arrested the Tate brothers this weekend?
I did. Did you hear who bailed them out?
No, I did not.
The Trump family.
What?
Yep. Turns out that they're long time friends.
The Tate brothers are Rayford. I don't know if you saw any of it, but they're social media influencers.
Yeah, I saw it.
And did you? Okay, good. And they were arrested for all sorts of sex trafficking and stuff. Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna have to delve
Innocent
into
And
that.
it's not the U.S. government that's charging them. It's the United Kingdom. They're supposed to be extradited.
Right.
So yeah,
We'll
they
see.
can't be pardoned or nothing like that.
We'll see.
Innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah, we know that, Rayford. But we like reading
Yeah.
smut.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
But they will never be found not guilty.
True. Well, I don't know. When the jury stands up and says not guilty, what's the difference?
They will never be found not guilty. I'm sorry. They will never be found innocent.
Thank
They
you.
will be found not
Because
guilty.
I knew there was some. Right.
Right.
They will never
And I
be
don't
found
know
innocent.
enough about them to make a judgment over whether
I don't either.
that they did or not. I don't know.
I knew
Not-
very little about them.
I didn't travel in
But
their
I
circles.
do know for a country that could try and extradite somebody from the United States, that's not just your normal arrest. That takes a lot more hoops to jump through to do that.
Exactly.
So somebody feels like they did it.
You might be surprised how many people we do agree to extradite to other countries.
I do. I know. I didn't say it didn't happen. I said there's a lot of extra hoops to jump through.
Yeah,
other than
they're
just,
extra hoops. You
a
gotta-
normal arrest.
It's that blasted Secretary of State that's got to get involved.
Yeah. A lot more people get involved on that arrest. Yeah. So a lot more people have to see it being justified. But I don't know. I ain't there. Couldn't say. Another note, talking about the Iran thing, I guess we can jump all around the world today. Did you see in the missiles that they launched a new type of missile, I guess, that we didn't know they had yet? It's a solid fuel rocket.
Yeah, I did.
It's something like a my mind's slipping away from me, but like our Tomahawk.
It's,
Something like that.
it's one they have not used before. We did know they have it.
I got you. And it also appears that the reason they're able to hit these U.S. bases in all these countries is because Russia and China, the report is they're giving them targeting information.
Mm-hmm.
So
You did hear that there was some confusion. Let me see. How do you put this? With malice of forethought, some of the GPS things were going haywire from time to time. So it was very difficult to get guaranteed tracking over the last 2 or 3 weeks. Those missiles are dependent upon GPS coordinates tracking. And there are 2 different types of every satellite up there that we deal with, that we have control over. They have two different GPS type of systems. One is for you and me and everybody else to use. It'll get you close. Then there's the military version. And if you play with the military version, as we can do, and we throw people off by, a couple of miles here and a couple of miles there, you don't know where you're going.
Yeah. Well, it seems the accuracy was.
It was. They got it.
Was better than random.
Yes, it was better than random. It was not random. Like I said,
Yeah.
it wasn't. You can't shut it down continuously. You're not supposed to. That would be a real problem for us as well.
Right. Well, and it's the same thing that we do for Ukraine, where, in Russia, we give them targeting information about Russia.
Of course we do.
But, and I only bring it up because it's a whole nother factor in this mess that is Iran. Is that we've got adversarial countries that are helping them. And how far does that go? How much help are they giving them, that we haven't seen yet? What other weapons are they going to all of a sudden pull out from underneath
A lot of these countries you're talking about are going to provide assistance until it no longer benefits them to provide assistance. They are hosed in the working. They go to the highest bidder.
Right. Well, but those particular countries are long game countries. They're not going to have a new leader in 4 years that changes his mind.
Nope.
So they tend to play the long game a little more than the average leader does.
It's okay. With the election in 2020 disputed, and it's been proven now, according to the redacted information, Trump can actually serve a third term.
Oh, you stop it.
Yeah, man. I know you're just joking, but I would just be just as concerned about somebody, a left-wing president, trying to attack the Second Amendment.
Yeah.
The Constitution. I see both sides. Just it don't suit their narrative, and so they, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of hypocrisy over the Constitution from both sides.
Well, I'm having a problem. Don't get me wrong. I totally support the Second Amendment, but I also support the state and the federal government having the right and the responsibility. Let's take it away from having the right, having the responsibility to protect us from the nut jobs who would like to have guns just because they can. And I saw a piece of video from one of those programs that is on YouTube.
Yes.
From one of the guys that I like to watch.
Right.
And where they had stopped a vehicle, and these people had guns. They did not have guns illegally, but they had guns.
Right.
And then they were raising Cain, calling the cops every really bad thing in the book, totally not supportive of law enforcement whatsoever, challenging them, giving them a bunch of grief. These were cops in Florida, by the way. They were not some radical New York or whatever type of operation. This is in a gun-friendly state. And they went berserk. Now, those are the kinds of people that I question whether they should have even, I don't know whether they got permits or not. I hope they got the names of everybody involved, and they do verify that they did get legitimate permits, and then they can go back and take a serious look at them and see whether they may have a problem or not that didn't come out during the permitting process. That's one of the reasons that I do support permitting. If you don't want to get a permit to carry a gun concealed, it's okay with me. Just be aware that I'll be more suspicious of you.
I tell you, it's easy for me to support the Second Amendment because I agree, strongly with it.
Yep.
It's the ones that when I don't like it, that's when I try to support it even more. I believe in the First Amendment. There's some hate groups in this country that get to say things that I don't think they ought to get to say. But that's the thing I think most people misunderstand about America is that a free country is not a guarantee of security. It's the exact opposite. is a vulnerability. In a free society, people are free to do bad things, and that's the reason why we need the Second Amendment, because your personal protection is your responsibility.
Yep.
You know, cops are reactionary 99% of the time, not preventative.
They investigate crimes that have already committed.
Yeah, somebody calls the cops, they show up, and there's the person laying on the ground. They put a chalk outline around them, and you know, that's all they can do.
Yep.
You know, and so I mean, that's the reason why I kind of believe it's there. But like I say, it's not it's you know, a free society is the opposite of a guarantee of security.
Yeah.
You know, and there was one of the forefathers here, which one it was, that said those who would trade liberty for security deserve neither.
Yep, that's right. I forgot who that was.
And I want to say John Adams, but I'm just
I can't remember.
Shot in the dark on that one.
Yeah, I don't know.
But anyway, whoever said it, it was, you know, thoughtful.
But I support the right to carry their weapons concealed if the United States government or the individual states want to agree with that. I'm okay with that. I'm still going to get my concealed carry permit. Why? Because there are states out there that will not recognize the North Carolina right to carry your gun concealed when you go visit their states. However, they do have reciprocity in 35 states that allow me to carry my gun because I have a permit in their states.
Right. Right.
And also does one more thing. It shows that you are a person who has sought to make sure that you're doing things right, and that just on the surface, when somebody, I mean, I've seen it used in court, even where people were taking the stand. Mr. Samuels, you have a concealed carry permit, is that correct? Yes. What does that mean to get one of them? Well, it means I had to undergo a background check. I had to do this, and this. And therefore, they were looked at a little bit differently by the jurors than another guy up there on the witness stand that did not have such a background check done. That's human nature.
Yeah. To jump back over to Iran, I had another thought I wanted to share on that one. Is we've gone back to bombing, and we've stepped up our bombing campaign against them. I can't help it. The thought crossed my mind that this is a group of people who really don't care about their citizens very much. And even the ones that they do care about, you're dealing with religious ideology. These people think they're dying for God.
Yep.
So I don't think this is, you know, I hate to try and think outside my lane because my brain ain't that big, and you know, sometimes it overheats. But I don't feel like that the administration has a grasp on the whole situation. I feel like that they're shooting in the dark as well.
1979. We've had a lot of administrations, a number of presidents, some good, some not so good, since 1979. We had Carter in 79. We had Reagan after that. Then we had Bush. Then we had Billy Bob. Then we had Bush. Then we had Obama. Then we had Trump. Then we had Biden. Now we got Trump. We've had a lot of administration changes. God knows, look at the House and the Senate. So what could be done differently than what these people did not do to fix this issue? First of all, I guess we would have to agree that there is an issue, that there is a threat against us, because it's been used and we have suffered.
Yeah, and I mean, I get that they don't like us, but there's a bigger story there as well. And then during Reagan's presidency, there was a whole Iran-Contra thing that happened, whatever that was or was not. I do not recall. You know, with Ollie North.
I do.
So there were some mistakes, you know, that were also made along the way, you know, and I I'm not no genius, but I think, the first step towards progress is trying to make sure we don't make mistakes. So to be very cautious. Now, overcautiousness, sometimes that can be a mistake. So, it's Occam's razor. You just don't know till you know. But I don't think Iran's going to surrender. Like some people have, that they need to.
They're not going to.
They're just not that kind of people. That's like saying we need to surrender. Probably not going to happen.
Better not.
So then you got to ask yourself: is bombing them going to, is it really going to achieve what we want to achieve? Is the stick going to work here, or is it something where it needs to be the carrot?
Does anybody else have a solution that hasn't been tried?
Well,
because nothing that's been tried has worked with Iran. Nothing.
Well, that's, that comes with a little bit of context, though. We had something that was working to an extent. We didn't have 100% compliance, but we had some compliance, which would meant some of it was working. And instead of going in and fixing what was not working, and I said this over again, we decided to just abandon that completely. And now we're trying to get back to that point again. And not having a lot of success and, having to go through a lot more trouble to get there than we did the last time. I'm having a hard time trying to find the logic and reason in what's brought us to this point.
Do you think that if we had continued down the same road that you were talking about, where do you think we would be today?
I can't really say, Rayford. That's
I know that. That's why I say, where do you think we would be?
Well, there's a whole lot of variables involved there. If Trump was still in charge and, his 2 terms, chances are we'd be in the same place for one reason or another.
If Biden was in charge for the second, when Biden took over, if he was in charge, how about if Hillary was in charge?
Well, here's the thing, and I'm going to go on record saying this. When he came into office, he should have pursued this vigorously, some kind of deal with them. He didn't. He abandoned it as well. Don't understand that either. I'm not going to support them on that. That was, they made a mistake too. Just because Trump tore the deal up, they should have went right back in there trying to make one as soon as he got in office, and they didn't seem to care either.
Suppose there was no Trump. Suppose Hillary was elected in 2016.
Then it would have been what the kind of pressure the coalition, the world community that signed on to that treaty would have been able to put on Iran to make them comply with what they wanted to comply with, and they may not have been. We may have came to the same point anyway. That's why I say I don't know.
Well, under Obama,
it seems like we didn't try. It seems like we took the path that we knew was going to lead to this.
Under Obama, we took every effort to work with the coalition for them to put pressure on Iran. They were unable to do so. They did exactly the same thing we did. Okay, we demand inspections. That was number one. Everybody across the board demanded inspections, right?
Right.
Except North Korea or whatever. They don't count. But everybody wanted inspection. And Iran said, nope, not going to do it. And they said, okay. And we said, okay.
I'm not trying to dispute that premise, even if that's 100% accurate. Mm-hmm. Here we are trying to get back to the same point to make a deal where we got to trust them again. So, regardless of whether they were abiding by it then or not, we're trying to bomb them back to the same spot we were at before then. Mm-hmm. So, like I say, that's where the logic kind of just goes out the window for me. Yeah. If we're trying to get back to that same point, then, hindsight 2020, we should have figured out a way to fix that deal. Bombing them didn't automatically make them bend the knee and do exactly what we say, and it don't appear that it's ever going to do that.
We may have gone into this go-round with a very solid effort to encourage them to come to the table and let's do things. And we had this kind of working, kind of work. No, we didn't. This peace plan, this wasn't a peace plan. This was a stalling technique, and everybody understands it. Everybody who was there knew it. our side, their side, everybody's side knew this was nothing but a stalling technique on their part. Let's have a ceasefire. Let's have a ceasefire. We'll do this, we'll do that, and we're still not going to let any ships go by. But no, they would never reach, never even the first stage of any agreements this go round. So we amped up the bombing routine. That still didn't work. What does work? They're not going to come to the peace table. You understand that. You've already said that. They will never surrender.
They won't surrender, but like I say, you know, when it comes to stuff like this, I ain't no genius, but I do know you got kind of two options, the carrot or the stick.
Mm-hmm.
And the stick don't seem to be doing the job. You know, what they used back then with the last agreement we had with them was a whole lot of carrot. You know, we gave them a lot, and we didn't get a whole lot. But we did have a deal, which is what we don't have now. So, I don't know. Like I say, guys, I'm trying to find some logic in it. I'm trying to support them where I can, but it don't seem to be no sense to be made out of it.
Okay.
You know, and I don't know. Maybe y'all see something I don't. Where I mean, I don't. It looks like it don't matter how many bombs we got. It don't matter if we, you know. And who are we dealing with? Are we dealing with that guy's son, the religious nut job, or are we dealing with some provisional government? Or
well, we're trying to deal with both, and one of them is the provisional government, but they're just a puppet government. They're nothing. They don't have any control. They do not run the military. They don't run pretty much anything. The real military is run by the thug, the son of the thug.
Well, and so, I mean, how does that play into this?
I have no idea.
How do we even get a deal?
I don't think you can get a deal.
You know? Right. So, like I say, it seems extremely complicated, and you know, of course, every politician is going to try and play that down and act like they got everything under control. But
yeah, good luck on that one. Miss America's got a better plan at world peace than we've got.
Yeah, and I tell you, you know, man, I can't help but think, you know, this is the person who said they weren't going to do stuff like this. They weren't going to jump out there in the middle of somebody else's mess. You know, and I get they think they got good reasoning for it, and maybe they do. But once again, it's a trust me, we've got the evidence. You know, just like with election fraud, trust me, we got the evidence. And I'm getting a little, you know, a little skeptical.
Did you ever tell anybody that you know that is something I would never ever consider doing, and then you get pushed into doing something you said you would never ever consider doing, and you had to react?
And I get that, you know, but I would probably acknowledge that fact wholeheartedly, you know, that, hey, everybody, I know I said I wasn't going to do this, but here I am. Instead of looking at you and go, you're a stupid reporter. You're just stupid.
There are people that are not going to admit they made a mistake. You understand that.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to ever accept. Some people are never going to accept responsibility for their actions.
I get that. And in this particular situation, if you've got somebody that's leading it that will not admit they've made a mistake, is that possibly problematic? You know,
if he would just take one
war, and we got somebody who won't admit when they messed up.
If he would take one of the, and I got a T-shirt up there somewhere. I think I showed it to you one time, Lee. That has how the CIA works, and it says first thing you do, blame somebody else for everything you do. Never admit that you did it. Blame somebody else for doing it, or at least blame them for making you do it. He hasn't done that. Right. But if he would take that under advisement, he would be ahead of the game. All right, we got to run here, Steve.
Thank you, guys. Y'all have a blessed day. I appreciate all your time.
Thanks. Bye. Well, I had a lot of stories here, but
there's a lot of
YouTube.
Well, it's your fault. You told me to take him. You wanted to talk to him. You were saying, I saw you sending him messages.
Oh, no, I was typing an email to JPD. We were asking people about their microwave stories, And I had to laugh at Richard. Richard, I'm not laughing at
Yes, you
I'm
are.
laughing with you. Because have you ever tried to boil an egg in the microwave?
Yeah, but I got a first-hand report on it.
Yeah. Richard said he thought he could boil an egg using the microwave. He said he put 3 in there, and 10 seconds later, they all exploded. It took him 45 minutes to clean the microwave.
kitchen.
Been there, done that, Richard. Definitely been there. Oh, yeah, back in, it only takes one time. And my other microwave story is when you were talking about warming up coffee. Well, when I was working, and it's the federal government, it's not like they have coffee readily where you can access it. You kind of have to make your own by cup. And I remember,
baby.
well, that was back in the day. But I remember one time warming up my coffee, and it was in a ceramic mug. So you would think, okay, that's cool. I had forgotten about the little silver
metal ring around the top of it.
The top of it, right.
Oh, no.
So I go put that into the microwave, and I'm sitting in the break room waiting for it to heat. And all of a sudden, the microwave starts sparking. I'm like, what in the world is... I was like, all of a sudden, it hit me. I was like, that silver ring around the top. I didn't even think about it when I put it in there. But the microwave survived. My coffee didn't, but the microwave did fine. So I think we've all had microwave stories.
Where's the mug? What happened to that?
I don't remember. I don't know.
There are some types of pottery and other things that react to microwaves, and they get hot, as you know.
Oh, yes.
So be careful with that.
You have to have microwave safe dishes.
The liquid inside might not even heat up. All the stuff on the outside is holding this stuff on the inside, overheats.
I know it's...
Now, my one story was not me.
Right.
But it was a friend of mine's wife was over there, and she had just gotten a microwave. I had just gotten a microwave. And those days are $250 for a scratch and dent one at Sears because I found one. I kid you not, I bought one. Scratch and dent microwave. It was a big monster.
Yes, they used to come huge.
Huge monster. And it worked great for decades. But they had one. They bought one for Christmas. She was going to show us how to boil eggs. And I'm and I walked in as she was putting them down. I said, too late.
That or melting butter.
That's like Ray Stevens. You've been incensed. Too late, Ethel!
Yeah, and real quick, I know I have so much we wanted to talk about. Oh, we've got tomorrow. But real quick, State Board of Elections released a statement on Friday. Said last night the Department of Homeland Security released information showing that our SAVE, which is Save the American Vote, identified 1,599 potential non-U.S. citizens on North Carolina's voter rolls. These potentially ineligible registrations represent an extremely small percentage, of course, of the 7.8 million people that are registered in North Carolina. However, one registrant is still one too many. Therefore, we're developing a process by which the state board and county boards of election records, as well as other available sources, will be researched for evidence that can identify if that registrant is eligible to vote. So I'm not saying this caused presidential losses or whatever, but I'm saying there is stuff, every state.
In bank robbery in Jacksonville today. If there's a bank robbery in Jacksonville today, the only one that we had this year or this in a 5-year period of time, should we arrest the individual for robbing the bank?
He robbed it.
If one person registers to vote who is not eligible to register to vote, should we take action?
Tell them no. Tell them, sorry, you can't register. Sorry, you're not eligible.
How do we know? How did we?
Well, that's what he's talking about. They're going to be taking more steps now which should have been doing that before.
Right.
Voting is a right, but you still have to meet criteria, just like driving a car. You still have to be able to be eligible to get a driver's license, pass the test, et cetera, et cetera.
Driving a car is a privilege. You don't even need to drive a car.
The War Department has confirmed the identities of two that were
Yeah.
killed in an Iranian missile attack on the Jordanian military base this week. Private Isabel Gonzalez, 19, of Carrollton, Texas, and First Lieutenant Tyler James Feehan, 25, of Ewa Beach, Hawaii.
They're both Army, right?
Yes, and she's a beautiful. That's whose picture I was showing you. Beautiful young lady.
I really am not going to. I would not trade their lives, those two there, plus the other one we killed and another one in Iraq. I would not trade those 4 lives for every person in the government in Tehran.
Right. Well,
If I could save those 4 people, I would have no problem in killing everybody up there in the government responsible for that action. I would support that. Oh, that's going to scare you, isn't it?
it is.
You're live and local, real talk where we're awake. Finally, not awoke.
Starting to feel better now.
No, I'm going to go take a nap.
I was just like, dang.
Looks like a good overcast day to take a nap too, doesn't it?
Yeah, I have to
need
go
something
meet
to eat, though.
somebody.
Okay, we'll see you guys in the morning. 7 a.m. is bright and early, and that's the way it is.
That's it. Well, we'll see you soon. Be safe on the roads today, everyone, please. Be
You
safe.
kitty porn freaks, beware.
Oh my God.
Beware. They're coming to get you.
It'll catch up
There
to
is
you.
no place that's going to be safe.
You
There
break
is
the
no
law,
negotiating a plea deal.
you will be caught.
Forget about it.
That's
And
right.
what happens is, while on the surface this doesn't appear to be a really serious
Mhm.
crime that's going to get you 100 years in prison,
Right.
you're going to get all of it and you're going to do all the time. And it adds to your sentence when it gets the younger the kids that they are, the more you're going to suffer. And then when you get to prison, it gets worse. Have a great rest of your day. We'll see you in the morning. Bye-bye. Say bye-bye.
Bye.
Say good night, Gracie.